Hello, 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 everyone. Nice little rally today. Where's Tom Tom? Oh, let's see how long it takes Tom Tom to come on to say stocks only go up. Oh, we did get that nice rally, nice momentum bars. I'll tell you what some stuff that I was hearing. It's insane. These days actually are fantastic to gauge the market sentiment from the common people. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean the people who trade off of the go-go juice. Hey, Davey. Hello, George. Hello, Anissa. Oh, this is very specific, Connor. Happy 4:35, Mike. Well, it's actually 3:35 my time. It's 4:35 Eastern time. And look, I did that right when it was 4:35 Eastern time. That's why I could be considered a YouTuber. Just kidding. Buy the dip, fade the rip. This is my T-shirt uh, quote. Well, there you go, Coco. There you go, Coco. Everyone in the house, plus the people hiding back there. I see you. You show up on the streaming count. Let's see where we sat today. There wasn't much besides. There's not much for me to show. We had the Fed beige book. We had multiple Fed speakers. I thought they actually gave a pretty good tone with what it's going to take more than one or a couple inflation prints. They're in it for the long haul. They're not going to pivot on a dime. You had the one comment that I forgot, was that Mester who said won't make the decision until during the meeting. Really, what real time data is going to appear in the meeting? You could pretty much make it the day before, maybe. But that I thought that was a little ludicrous comment. Beige book citing softening, but what did I get from this from people was see again. Based off this rally, the lows are in. We're going to new highs. Buy the dip, and the Fed's going to pivot. Even 50 basis points is now a pivot, and then they'll be done. So people are still having it in their mindset that any day it rallies is new highs and the Fed's closer to being done, even though that's not what any of them said. So, are we near a bottom? No. Are we at a short-term bounce? Yes. Should we see some continued follow through, a little upside price action? Yes. Is it guaranteed? No. Because there's always nothing is guaranteed 100%, but probability wise, we should see some follow through. Remember, tomorrow, we got jobless claims, 7:30. Magic number. I wish Patrick was here. 1454. Uh, let's see. We got Powell speaking. Remember, we got the ECB rate decision. It's looking like 75, but a deviation from 75 could give some more juice to this if they only go 50. We got Powell speaking. I don't know what he could say that's going to make a difference. And I think this is his last speech before the rate hike decision. Then we got the crude numbers. Crude numbers coming out tomorrow. Crude getting kicked where it hurts today. Consumer credit change in the afternoon, but nothing is shocking there. So Thursday, tomorrow morning, big ECB and Powell speaking. Jobless claims will take a back seat to both those. You can see pretty green day. Lots of mega cap bounces. We had the Apple event. Apple not doing much based off that event. I thought it was sort of meh. I looked at some of the, I didn't watch it. I looked at some of the stuff about nothing groundbreaking there. Tesla will peak at that. See if it triggered that little short-term double bottom. Fed watch, this was over 80% earlier, back to 76, but still favoring the 75 basis points. So people saying Fed dovish pivot, blah 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 blah. Just looking for a reason to buy this market. Get the rallies. I love these rallies. And negative gamma. I want to point something else out, especially if you are tuning in newer rather than later. Negative gamma, you can get these upside rallies. Also, keep in mind, remember I said that 3,900 was going to be tough to break through. We launched out of this morning straight through 3,950. Look at all the gamma sitting between the calls up here and the puts. 4,000. 4,000 is huge now. We are still in negative gamma until 41.31. So even I'm expecting us to pinpoint in on this 4K and see how we react around there. Even if we poke back through it, that will be the drawback magnet to it I'm watching for. All right, we'll take a look at some of this other stuff later. I'm putting more things in here like the current market valuation stuff to look at longer term. Oh, I'm introducing the CNN Business Fear and Greed Index. This should pop it up with today's. I don't know, remember when this updates, but this should, if we get a little more follow through, we might peak back into neutral. I'm trying to give some more longer term views on here too to help people out with things. Coco, that's just a silly statement because they're not hiking 100 basis points in September. And no, the market won't go up until the Fed hikes 100 basis points. Hello, options 22. Hey, Daniel. Glad to have everybody. So, we had some earnings, GameStop. Could somebody please fill me in with a nice little pop? I did not see GameStop's earnings, but they announced a partnership with FTX and they popped off that. What does FTX to crypto? They're our preferred partner in the U.S. What does GameStop have to do with crypto trading? Good. And how does a GameStop brick and mortar thing? I don't get any. It's like AMC buying a friggin' gold mine. None of this makes sense. As soon as we stop seeing this garbage, then we'll be at the bottom or closer to a bottom. American Eagle Outfitters gap down. It looks like they were missing. Dave and Buster's was lower after the close. I did not see their full results. So a couple things down, but GameStop up with that FTX. And I have to still see what their results were. Tomorrow morning, nothing that I'm interested in. I'll peek at fuel cell energy, but based off we got ECB and Powell, I'm not going to be focused on any earnings because I don't have a horse in this race. After the close, I'm definitely checking out DocuSign, Zscaler, and Restoration Hardware. Restoration Hardware, especially from their conference call with their CEO, because he's a decently straight shooter when it comes out on what he's expecting. So I definitely want to pay attention to that for his outlook on stuff as concerning his business and the consumer and what he's expecting. He doesn't mess around the beat around the bush that much. So that is interesting. Something I would follow. Here is your nice big rally. The S&P up 178 basis points. NASDAQ up 205. Dow up 132. Russell up 205. Even the DAX up close to 100 basis points. The notes also rallying 50 basis points. Dollar finally pulling back. VIX got tanked. This is fantastic if you want to set up, especially on a follow-through rally, if you want to set up some hedges again. This is, with that VIX tanking, is fantastic. Crude, again, down close to 600 basis points, 5.9%. Natty gas continuing lower. Nice little pop finally in gold and silver, especially silver. Gold, a nice little reversal boat. We'll have to peek in on that. Euro up 103 basis points going into the rate hike decision. And Bitcoin finally a bounce there. Watching then on a couple more day follow through before the next rollover play coming off the 87.5 harmonic. So today S&P. Let me modify a couple things right here. Finally, we're getting a longer term pausing bar. Hopefully, this is going to at least get me a longer term pausing bar. We have not had a decent one. I was watching for the return to daily rotation zone. We're nearly there. We'll probably follow through tonight. Asian and European sessions hit there. This did trigger a short-term follow-through buy signal, as I talked yesterday, to roll the intraday plays that could be rolled into a short-term buy signal, even holding an aggressive stop in case we get a push lower with either Powell or the ECB. But this is giving us a short-term buy signal, and that would be for a couple-day follow-through at most. Cycle's finally trying to get out of the bottom, out of the basement on the daily, and out of oversold condition finally. What am I now watching for besides some continuation? And I could definitely see some continuation over the next day or so at least, unless something really weird happens with Powell or the ECB. So my next targets were sitting against that prior 50% retracement. My next major targets are 4,012. I'll be watching closely around 4,000, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get some follow-through momentum to see testing this 4,012 area. And then above that, so roughly it's 4,000 to 4,012 is my next target area, especially for tomorrow. If we get through that, then I'm going to this breakdown zone right here. The breakdown zone at 4,031, then I'm back to 4050. Support. Remember, I talked about these levels. Let's just go to a shorter term chart today. We got some momentum right off the open. A nice little pullback to that. Here's the 5-minute. Got some momentum right off the open. And then the little pullback. And then just grinding the 15-minute. This is where I watch the 15-minute. Grinding it higher. Little correction going into European close in the 15-minute sideways correction, holding above that 39.36 level. Then just your takeoff move, especially a lot of take on that beige book being dovish because of slowing conditions, but that's what they want. And okay, well, they're going to pivot or pause. It's absolutely insanity. But you got to take advantage with these momentum, especially after the beige book, momentum to the upside. So on any pullback, I'm just keeping an eye on this 1 hour rotation zone going into Asian and European session. 39.61 is my pullback level. If we dropped a little below that, about 39.52, those are my key levels. Already listed the upside. It would take a lot to get back to 39.36. We'll be watching that depending on how we go into the ECB rate decision. But other than that, I'm watching for the continuation play. NASDAQ, we had those little double targets that we blew through rather nicely. Coming back down, my next is 12,260 level, spiking above there, but then trying to maintain it. It'll be interesting. My pullback level is a 12.2 on the NASDAQ. On the daily basis, you see cycles turning up out of oversold condition. I'm still expecting the NASDAQ to target this 12,360 area to about 12,404. That's my next resistance. Above there, then I got 12,500, then 12,620. Anywhere up in here, I'm watching for the next rollover play. By the way, it's going to be close to NASDAQ triggering. In the next 12 minutes, it needs to close above 12,244.50. Right now, we're trading at 12. Where are we trading right now? 12,266. So that looks like it will probably trigger the buy also. Dow, right at that buy signal, but this is not the one I would be focusing on. The one I'd be focusing on is the S&P personally. Dow levels, I'll just get this out of the way. 31,772, then 31,782. The key area still, watch that 1 hour rotation zone if you're at the Dow, but the Dow has not been able to sustain much The Dow just That's why I'm not getting. The Dow was the weakest on this rally. We'll be watching about 31,500 on the pullback. If we drop below that, that's not the Dow. I'd be going off of 31,370, but not looking to do anything with it. I'm just pulling off these levels. Not. I'm going to put a line down here, 1775. I just want to unclutter the chart with this rally now. That was the final area for this. Well, not on the next rollover we'll hit that, but it's nothing that I'm keying off of right now. So, Russell getting the go-go juice. Watching for the Russell. Tagging back to that 50% harmonic, but my key area is actually about 1850 and then 1870 on a continued rally. Pullback mode is about 1825, then the bottom of this 1819. The Russell also out of oversold, not triggering the follow-through buy. Yes, I will. I'll make an option to be bought as a bundle because I think a lot of stuff has to be bundled together. There'll be some stuff that's sold individually or that could be add-ons, but a lot of it will be a bundle because I put a lot of concepts together. So if you didn't understand again how I use clear path moves, some of the stuff won't make sense. So if you're trying to pick and choose and you don't get what I mean by a clear path move and all the nuances of it, it wouldn't make sense on if I say take a trade into a clear path move. DAX still, you have those little mini double. Watching for some follow through. Next target on this. I'm still targeting about 13,100. Notes, nice little bounce play. Target area for me, I'm raising this up a bit, is about 116.19 for the follow through bounce before the next rollover play on the notes. Dollar, yes, I wanted to point this out. This did qualify as a little mini double top. This was not too high. Just wanted to point that out. First target. It's harder to trade because you got a lot of momentum, but just wanted to point out first, second target, or first and second, third targets all hit. We got the little reversal. If we continue the pullback move out of overbought condition, cycles at the top, I'm going back to 109 as my key support. Should we get some follow through? And that would just be, again, a short-term pullback. If we get some continued strength with the euro and weakness in the yen tomorrow. VIX, this is why I also got in super bullish mode today, not only with the momentum. We aggressively, if you looked at the shorter term charts, pretty decent momentum. Quick little pause here, 25.48, but then this afternoon move, we got this move below here going into beige book. And then the beige book momentum, that was really nice for that afternoon play. So we finally got below that. We paused right at that 25.50 level, then followed through. I'm going through for a little more continued follow through to the downside. And my next VIX target is about 24.30 area. And then below that back to 23.50. Crude. Next harmonic is hit. Talked about that one this morning. Pretty much a dead stop on there. So can't put up more harmonics just yet. So the next major target is the first target, the 77.60 area for the weekly double top. Major resistance now coming in at this breakdown zone, 86.50. So any pop back to there with the declining rotation zone is a rollover potential sell signal. Would not be surprised to see a pop coming up in the next few days. And then to set up for some more shorts. Natty Gas. Come on, Natty Gas. Natty Gas, remember hitting the targets yesterday. Nothing new. It's now sitting on hands. By the way, it would be aggressive buy on a close above today's high. It's sitting on hands watching for a solid reversal move, which did not happen today. No strong bottoming pattern just yet. You got some waning momentum, but that's about it. And nothing more to the short side unless we trigger this bigger double top. Gold, this is a valid double bottom potential. Needs a at least a 4-hour close above 1737, 1755, 1764, 1773. That's it. What I'm keeping an eye on for gold. Silver, nothing. It's more like a flag pattern, but my targets for this are about 1865 to 1870 on a continued follow through there. Nothing going on in copper. Yen finally looks like it's getting a short-term top. The major support area back on the yen is 141. A minor support 142.70. Euro snapback rally. Aggressive buy triggered on the close today. So we should get some follow through here. And a little divergence trade down here with this last peak, and could not get to my cluster area, but anything triggering on a daily buy is exiting short euro positions. Going to be watching for the follow through back to the weekly rotation zone and this major breakdown area. So 10080. Bitcoin, after hitting that 87.5, little bounce play, said to watch that if we got the move on in the NASDAQ, which we did. Now returning to the breakdown zone. The key area I'm watching for the return area is roughly between 19,545 to 19,782. Where else do we sit? Tesla triggering the little short-term double. You can see here on the 4-hour and the daily basis. So watching for some continued upside. 290.39, 294.33, not ignoring this 200, 296.19, which I'd use for another stop. 298.47 are the upside targets. That's where we sit there. What else? Well, that's a stupid statement, Coco. Who says I only short? And who said I talked about I was expecting a rally? I haven't talked about it. We could get momentum bars. Who says I'm not? And we just triggered buy signals. You can play both sides of a market. Jeez, I just don't get people. I just really, really don't. I just blanked out at what I was going to look at. You want an end phase? Nice little channel breakout today on end phase. Nothing's really changed with the targets. Next major target is 325. Breakout, and I just watched for this 306 level as key support. Coming back on the breakout, so any return back to even 303 to 306 would just be support. Next target, as I said, 325, and then above there, we're already going to pass that. I'm just going to I'm actually, since we already have that 325, I'm going to give you the next ratchet up level. Just remember 325 because we got to now switch the pausing bars on this. Above 325, which at this point I'd use for a stop raise, 333.22 or 333 would be the next target area above there. Nice little pullback. Weekly rotation zone. If you're waiting, you were waiting. Buy pattern triggered yesterday, still in consolidation so that was a lower probability one, but this with the breakout is your confirming follow through pattern. So I'd use 325 as a stop raise and 333 as the next major target. By the way, Nvidia did not, even with this rally, did not trigger a follow through buy. So still tons of weakness in semis when this couldn't even trigger a follow through buy. Weak, 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 weak. So the only thing I would be looking at now is really that potential double. ASAN. Yep, big move there. You got the clear path move up here. So if you're targeting this for the next targets, 23.27, then 24.83, and you got a gap left behind there. Let's see, what else did I miss? And Kauko also mentioned ASAN. All right, that's what we got going on now. Any other? Let me just check on play and missed on. Oh, that's interesting. This came out, so they missed on earnings. Wow, big miss on earnings. Beat on revenue, but big miss on earnings. So when you start seeing this, you start seeing pressures from. And I'll have to look at more detail, but this when you start seeing earnings miss but revenue beat, it's generally tied to inflationary pressures, especially with something like play, which has a strong wage component. AEO also, that was down. Where's it trading now? Oh, wow. Big miss there. Again, earnings, big miss. Beat on revenue, miss on earnings. There's another one. And where do we have GME? That's a little weaker than I would have thought. Next target, and that would just be the gap fill. Pulling already back. So they missed on revenue. Oh, geez. Beat on earnings. Again, negative earnings. What a joke. People are buying it off of that. What a friggin' joke. GSAT. I didn't think that was that impressive with a thing with the Apple announcement with the satellite stuff. I mean, it's emergency only. It looks like it's all the way back. Look at that bar. That probably trapped a lot of people. Bet you a lot of people liquidated. You got major resistance up there. I think we'll probably get some follow through pullback on that. Dimitri, where's my hello North American, Dimitri? You want Docu going into earnings? Again, DocuSign earnings tomorrow after the close. That's a weak move too. Docu. There's no great buy signal. It didn't even trigger the buy signal today. So there's no strong signal, but you get a pop back. See, to me, anything on a pop on DocuSign's a sell. So what levels would I be watching for a sell if it can pop there in the earnings? Mid 56 level. Pretty significant right there with the declining weekly rotation zone. And you got the top of the daily rotation zone. So anywhere up in here would be a short, looking for a short play for me. And my next target for covering the shorts is about 46.25. I don't have a long play in this. Because even on returns to the rotation zones, this rotation zone, yeah, you got a little waning momentum. So at some point you can get a bigger pop. But no, I mean, this is short only in my book on pops. Well, there you go. I'm shorting Mama Kathleen stocks before earnings. I agree with you. Now, personally, you can go in short. That's fine if you do get that pop up by the next. If they do get that silly pop, The two levels I'd be looking for, 56.42, and then if you got a bigger pop, 60.55 would be a gift pop for adding two shorts for a rollover. Those would be the levels I'd be watching for the pop trades. Other than that, would not be unwinding shorts until at least 46. At least. And then below 46, you have your key level. I'd be looking to at least take something off between about 45 and 46. But this thing, I'm seeing this thing longer term will break below 40. Longer term. Again, a lot of these silly earnings pops, especially on stuff like DocuSign, that if it does pop, again, they're just gifts. These are gifts if you're going short. All right. We don't need to keep it longer than that. I just want to check back in to double check where everything closed today. S&P confirmed long. NASDAQ confirmed long trade again for a very short-term bounce. Dow, let's just take a look here. 31,592, closed 31,572. So no buy signal in the Dow, and Russell no buy signal. So the NAS was a weak buy signal. The S&P was a stronger. So if I had to pick and choose, the play for my follow through would be on the S&P above all other things. Did Frey form a double bottom? There's no, on what time frame? I don't see a double. Oh, on here? That looks like a 1 hour double. Looks like a 1 hour double. So on a continued rally, the only thing that, yeah, you could see some follow through on that. It's hard to spot. It's really sloppy. So this is one I'd be using my more aggressive raising the stop levels. And the initial stop off this, I'd go off the short end of the stick would be about 1221. But yes, that did trigger on a 1 hour basis. Keep in mind, this is a horribly sloppy double because it's not even visible on the 4 hour or the daily, and it's ill-formed. But yes, you do have a double. I would be aggressive on the stop raising, though, with this one because it's so ill-formed. There you go. You are welcome, Dimitri. I was waiting for that. Bingo. Oh. Anything to the rally. My major resistance is now about 250. Longer term, we should probability-wise see lower prices. My next target would be a $1.96. I'd actually let me revise that. 250, and the minor level is about 243. So any rally would be watching for rollover plays between 243 and 250 to the upside. Keep in mind it closed below the 62.5 on a daily basis. So longer term, we should revisit these lows for May and June, this low area. Short term, I'd be watching for the rollover play, and my next target for the rollover play would be a $1.96, which is not just the 75% harmonic, but also the breakdown zone or breakout zone. So this prior resistance becoming key support would be the key target on the next rollover play. You have cycles at the bottom on the daily, so would not be surprised to see a pop. This is the breakdown zone right there. So any pop going into the daily rotation zone into this area, I'd be watching for the rollover play. Any chance of it hitting 9? No. That would be a NO unless you got some massive, massive squeeze play going on. The 9s, even look at the last pop. Told you. And you watch these vertical up, vertical downs. If you're thinking 9, you're dreaming. You'd need so much juice to get it there. I don't think it's going to happen in this environment. So if you're not taking advantage of these quick little pops, the upside, to unwind your position, I don't know. Because this thing, I'd be watching for $1.96 and $1.56. We should be getting Bob tomorrow after the close. I don't know if he'll be able to come on tomorrow morning. But Bob should be here, George, after the close. You don't want just Mike? It's ask for Bob? Ugh. Where's the love? All right. With that, sorry, dark screen sleep. Where's Tom Tom? Where is Tom Tom on the up days? What the? This is so disappointing. What, he only trolls on the down days? Oh, this market needs Jesus. I agree. Is it Jesus or Jesus? Tell me how. Let me know. Let me know, please. This market needs Jesus. Well, longer term, it does. I mean, I'm going with Jesus, because when Jesus tunes into my live stream, you know all is right in the world. I know all is right. I know I've made it on YouTube because, you know what, I got Jesus viewing my live stream. That's all there is to it. So it doesn't matter how many subscribers I get. I'm done. Who's the thunder? Who's the lightning? Who's bringing the thunder? Who's bringing the lightning? You gotta let me know. I know I'm the most favorite, though. With that, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, we should see, probability-wise, some follow-through, at least some minor follow-through tomorrow. Keep that 4,000 level ingrained into your brain, though, because of all that gamma right around there. And I will be back for, well, Powell will be starting speaking during my live stream. Again, did not call me for scheduling conflicts. That is a shock. And ECB going off with their press conference and everything during the live stream. Didn't coordinate it with me. Don't know what they were thinking. With that, I will talk to everybody later. Have a wonderful night. Bye for now.